Hello Stationeers, welcome to episode 11 of Vulcan Getting Started. Let's get going here by making another insulated tank. We need some silicon, some copper, there's some silicon, and some copper, we're out of that, and some steel. We're going to have to do some mining, obviously. Alright, so we'll get that going. So this is phase 2 of our furnace upgrade. In the previous episode, we made a system to collect daytime hottest air we can get. In this episode, we are going to make a system that takes that air and boosts it up to a higher temperature. So we're going to use heat pumps for that. We're going to use air conditioners. Now you could also just take that air, pump it into a tank, or maybe an empty frame, and then just use wall heaters to just crank tons of electricity in there. Or you could take it and put it in a furnace and use fuel to heat it up, or just use fuel by itself. That'll actually burn really hot. But I don't have a lot of fuel, and wall heaters are inefficient, so I'm going to use air conditioners. In this setup, I'm going to use 3 air conditioners. Each one can pump 6,000 joules per tick, so that's 18,000 joules per tick. That's pretty close to what one solid fuel generator and a whole bunch of wall heaters can do. But this is going to take less than 1 kilowatt, so less than the power of one wall heater. See how we're doing out there? Oh, we're getting cool. So I'm going to need 6 atmospheric kits. That's because I need 3 air conditioners, and then you need 3 devices to constantly exhaust the waste pipe. Let's go get some food here. If you watched CaseGuard's video on air conditioners, basically if you constantly exhaust the waste pipe and collect that gas, you can make it super hot. And also it will replenish the air and the waste from the input. It'll divert input gas over there, which also makes the air conditioner run in an efficient mode, because then the waste and the input are always at the same temperature. But if you watched any of our videos, you know that that's not the only trick. The other trick is you have to get the volumes of the input, output, and waste, it turns out, all at the right ratio of pipe volumes, which is weird, but that's the way it works. Check our batteries here. So yes, this is a fuelless furnace. I just tend to generally do fuelless furnaces because I find they're a little easier and in some cases a little safer for me. I had said last time I only needed 5 of these, but decided to make another one because I don't want to reuse the one that's up on top of the furnace yet. I think I want to leave it there. Okay, let's put these here and get our tank out. We're going to collect our gases into here of the pipe connection on the front. Let's rename this while we're thinking about it. We called the other one purple tank. Let's call this one pink tank. Hot. And let's get rid of this. We're going to have to run some cables along the back there, so get rid of that. And there was another cable over here that was bugging me from the inside, right beside the fridge. Get rid of that. Okay, let's connect this up while we can. We'll just bring the power out, or the data out. Do I want to turn the corner here? No, let's just put it straight out. Alright, so I need some pick pipes. Didn't bring any. So we paint these. I don't want to paint all of them because I'm going to want some orange ones as well. Oh, that didn't help. Let's see here. There, we'll save one orange one, and then we'll paint the rest. Sorry, that was awkward. All right. So this is going to be, you have to get this to make this whole system work, and to be able to smelt anything you want, even once we get an advanced furnace, you want to get the temperature up over 1800 Kelvin. So we're going to be shooting for that, which is, you know, over, I forget what that is, 1525 Celsius or something. Anyway, we should be aiming well over 1600 with this. And so this is the output of the filtration. Now the filtration is there to pull those gases out of the air conditioner there. So this is the same setup. We're going to reproduce this 3 times. So the next filtration one is going to go here. And the filtration just dumps into our pink tank. Good. One thing I forgot was some passive vents. And we're going to need to make some more insulated pipes. That's not enough iron. Lots of iron. We're going to need 3. So we need 1 passive vent for the output of each air conditioner. Put that away. And take 2 more of these. Now, the volume of the output pipe on the air conditioner is critical. Okay, let's throw these on here. This is a filtration again, and then we do another air conditioner here. And let's throw the connecting pipe on there. Now those waste pipe volumes are just 1 segment. That's what you need. Set these down to -200. So it will try to cool the daytime gas and send it out the passive vents we're going to attach. And then the waste heat is going to get collected by the filtration systems. So let's set this over here. And this will be the output. Going to need to make, there we go, 3. Okay, so the volume here is critical. It has to be 2 segments, and the passive vent counts as a segment. However you lay this out, you have to get that ratio the same. So the output of the air conditioner has to have a 200 liter volume. Each pipe segment is 100 liters, and so is the passive vent. That's kind of the reason for this semi-awkward layout here. I don't have a better way to lay it out yet. Let's go grab one more thing of steel. Get some of these pipes going. We're going to need a lot of insulated pipes. And even if we don't use them in this episode, we're going to need them in the next episode anyways. All right. Let's put the last filtration unit here and the last air conditioner. Yeah, it sticks out a little bit, but it's okay. Let's do that. Connect that up. If I do that, I'm going to use them all. Let's just put one here. Good. And we'll put on the last air conditioner output pipe with the passive vent. Good. So it should look like that. That's where the waste cold air is actually going to go. So we're taking hot air, making it colder, and then collecting the hot air coming out the waste. Okay, go this way. We're going to run a cable along here. Now, we only want to hook up the the power here. Don't worry about the data. We're just going to turn all of them on and off at the same time with our transformer. So set it this way. We'll stick the transformer there. Let's go back in and fill these in. The reason for this is just that I can't send a cable through the passive vents anyway, so decided to do it with a transformer. Now to get the daytime air, which is purple, back there, we're going to run a pipe along the back here, one small grid up, and bring that out through here, go down, and then we'll go along the ground here. All right. Save that. Let's turn all these on. You can be minus 200. You can be on, and you can be on. Good. Of course, we'll have to hit start once we power them all up. And we're obviously going to need lots of silicon, lots more copper before we go do that. Oh, you're full. My tank was empty. Don't want to go mining with an empty jetpack. That's better. Alright, so we're going to pick a vector here. Let's see, 170. Come back on a 350. Let's go get some stuff. Okay, so as you can tell, I stayed out a long time. It's 600 degrees outside. So I'm not too worried about being out during the day anymore, since I can recycle my waste tanks. Oh, I've got insulated pipe in there. There you went. Good. So I got lots of copper and a decent amount of silicon. So let's start. We've already got some high temperature gas in there. Let's go through our copper and gold first. All right, let's keep going here. Copper. Now remember, we've got this furnace hooked up to daytime air all the time now. So we should be able to smelt this silicon in here too. First we'll have to melt it down, and then we'll have to probably exhaust the cooler gases out and then pump some hot gases in. That'll be over 900 Kelvin. So let that melt down, good. And then let's exhaust that out. That's going to take a second. Even with the 3 active vents, it takes a while to vent all that out. Okay, almost there. Let's bring that in. We only need to get over 100 kilopascals. There we go. Throw the other one in. Let's vent that out again. It's fully melted. There we go. Let's Get this in here. And we'll make some more insulated pipes. Gonna need lots of insulated pipes. Good. Might be time to go refresh. Let's make some food to eat. A baked tomato. That would be like my least favorite food. I would not want to live on that. So let's talk a little bit about the air conditioners that we're using here. And I talked about the input waste and output ratio. So the waste pipe is going to be one pipe segment, so 100 liters. The output, we're going to keep at 200 liters, and the input, we're going to set at 500 liters, so 5 pipe segments. Those are the magical ratios that seems to work well for Vulcan daytime air. Doing that, you can pump it up over, well, actually, I was going to say over 1800 Kelvin. You can get it over 1900 Kelvin with that, which is going to be hot enough to smelt anything we want. How are we doing out there? It's getting cool again. This happens every time I reload the game. Don't really understand why. 5, good.
Air tank critical.
All right. Tell you what, let's make some more. What did I do here? No, there's still some in there. I must not have left the switch on long enough. There we go. Yep. That'll be good. Let's just check and make sure we don't have any warning lights going off in there. Looks good. Let's grab these. And we'll keep building. So let's go build this manifold along the back here. First, we're going to build the input to the air conditioner. So we're going to have to come up, and then we'll use a T pointed towards the back. And the same thing here on each of them. The same thing here. Yeah, it sticks out a bit. It's okay. And then we're going to have to get some more purple pipes here. There we go. We're going to have to go along the back, and then we're going to have to tee off everywhere that we're going to the air conditioner. So there, there, and then a T. And that looks like it's lined up. Yep. Seem to have used a lot of pipes there. Okay, there, there. Keep coming out, and then one more, and then an elbow. Good. Now we can hook up these. Other way, just because of a direction, I don't know. Doesn't matter. And these are all off, so let's turn them on. We're only putting these in to separate the manifold from the input of the air conditioner. So, like I said, I want the input of the air conditioner to be exactly 5, and right now they're 2. Each one is 2, because it's the elbow and the T. So let's add 3 more on top of each one. That makes 5. There. What that does, that restricts the flow, or reduces the flow through the air conditioner, which means it can then increase the amount of cooling per mole, essentially. And that goes in there. So that's all the pink hooked up. Turn you on, maybe. There we go. No, you don't have anything in you. That's because we haven't hooked up the purple yet. And I don't have enough pipes. Don't have any in there. Let's make some more. Let's take that with us. We can hook up power. All right, transformer's going to go here. And we can set the amount of power. That looks backwards. I got the power going the wrong direction. Yeah, that way. We want it to go into the air conditioner. And we can set this to something like 2000. Like I said, we're only going to need less than 1,000 watts if this works. And we're going to need to control this from an IC, so let's call it the AC transformer. Let's start wiring this up. And I see something move down there. I'm all nervous about spiders. And we'll go around this that way. Now, what are we going to do about hooking all this up? Let's go get some more stuff first. Clearly I'm going to need more cables. Copper. Nothing in there. Oh, there's one. So let's reroute this purple pipe. Instead of coming down the corner, we'll move it over by one. It'll give us some more room to run wires and so on. I think that pink pipe's eventually going to come up this corner, if I'm visualizing it correctly. Now let's go down and move the purple pipe on the bottom too. So we'll remove the existing one. Place this there, and then go up from here. And then we need an elbow to connect to the tank then, like that. And then a T. And then we can connect, oh, purple, good. That looks good. I think that's all. Till we get to power though. Alright, so now we can connect the rest of this purple up. Good. I think everything's connected. So let's go down here and start looking at our power situation. We need it all to be on the same network, so we need to feed power up to it from down here. Should I come up this side, like in the middle of the frame? But we need to connect into that. We could just come up the corner then, since we just freed up that space. Yeah, it'll be a little tight, but we can get in there. What did I do? Okay. Oh, I got a wrench. I need wire cutters. Okay. And then we'll go straight up through the elbow. Ugh. And then up there. And that might be easier to get from the top.
Hydration critical.
Okay, so we need corner piece going this direction. And then come straight out. And then we'll just connect that over. Not the prettiest wiring, but it's okay. Alright. So I think that's all connected. I think that's right. Let's turn you on. And then hit start on these. That one's already going, and this one. Okay. So let's see what kind of heat we're making. Yeah, 1652. So that's like 1925 or something Kelvin. Well over 1800. That's what we need. And it's filling up reasonably quickly. It's over 500 kPa already. So that can go for a little while. Let's go in and look at some IC code changes so we can automate that. We don't want to overfill that tank. Let's see here. Okay, so first of all, the tank, the purple tank, we'll call that the cold tank. It's not terribly cold, but we'll call it cold. We'll call this cold tank not full. So this is the cold tank pressure. And then this is cold tank not full based on cold tank pressure. This is the cold tank. And this is cold tank not full. Okay. And then we're going to need another variable, hot tank pressure, R6. And we're going to need the hot tank, obviously. So D hot tank, D2. That's cold tank. And then we're going to need to load our hot tank pressure from D hot tank from pressure variable. And this should be fairly simple. We need to control the AC transformer though. D3. So run AC if there's room in the hot tank. So set if we're less than into R0. If the hot tank pressure is less than, let's just say 10 MPa. That's lots. set AC transformer on if R0 is on. That's it. We could almost have done that with a logic circuit, but we've got the IC10. We might as well use it. Okay, let's go grab that quick. Oops. We'll turn this off, and we'll turn that off temporarily. And while we're here, let's set these up. So this is going to be the hot tank, pink tank, yeah. And then this is going to be the AC transformer. It's fun doing this while you're floating. There, AC transformer. Oops, grab that. Export. Trying to move quickly here. Turn that on. No flashing light. Those are off because it's not hot enough, and those are on. Good. So are we filling? Yes. Half an MPa already. And is this AC transformer being controlled? Turn it off. It turns itself back on. That's good. Everything's on. Everything's at minus 200. That's good. I think that's all we need. Let's see how much power we're drawing. Okay, so 930 watts. That's 300 per AC and 10 for each filtration. That's really efficient. Instead of the filtration, you could use a back pressure regulator, but that would be 100 watts each instead of 10 watts each. So this is a little bit more power efficient. It is more resource intensive, obviously, but I didn't mind mining a bit more. Let's fill this up and just let this sit here. Make sure we put some extra water in the greenhouse. My waste tank is starting to get pretty high. Let's swap that out and put this here to remind us to take it into the greenhouse. And we're going to have to do that. Good. Now, let's start thinking about what we need for the next part of the project. We're going to need a mixer. Here we go, gas mixer. Copper. 50, 50, 50. Okay. We're going to need some more cables. Ooh, yellow. That should be orange. How are you doing? Are you cooling down? Slowly. You have a long way to go. You're still filling up.
Air tank critical.
There's my orange. That's where it rolled. Underneath. Spray paint you. Okay, lots of cables for now. go there. Oh. So for those of you in the comments, I did notice the purple pipe sticking out of the wall there. That was a mistake. I'll have to fix that next time. Obviously, I placed those wrong on that purple manifold outside, but that's okay. Clearly, it's still working. Okay, let's throw you there. That'll warm up the room a little bit, which is not bad because we're at 26. These are starting to rot. Let's get these off the vine. Good. And you're at 299. Almost feels like I should pump up the temperature a little bit. Are you going to turn back on? No, it's just a big waiting game. Actually, maybe I don't have to, because these are going to warm you up anyways. Maybe it's good it's a little bit low right now. So we haven't actually started putting any excess oxygen in our big tank yet, but we're still producing it fast enough that, well, that went up to 300. Anyway, yeah, so eventually we're going to fill up our little air filler where we fill up our oxygen tanks, and then once that's full up to 7 or whatever we set, then it's going to start filling up our big or our small white tank on the roof. So we'll put these tomatoes away. Good. Yeah, this is good. Let's make some more insulated pipes because we're going to need some more next time. So you notice I got the gas mixer, made the gas mixer there. We're actually going to need to mix our super hot gas that we created. We're going to mix that with the nighttime air, because then we can create any temperature between those extremes. So anywhere from 400 Kelvin all the way up to over 1800 Kelvin will allow us to smelt anything. But that means we're going to have to get the nighttime air over to where we're putting the mixer. So we are going to need quite a few pipes. But that's all right. I think that's it for this episode. Join me for the next episode if you want to see me finish off this project, and pretty soon we'll be making things like Constantin and Invar. See you next time.